Hello all, welcome to this next video in this special video series on ISB. Today we'll be talking about ISB PGP YL 2729 application form filling. This video will definitely help you to fill up your form in the best possible way and to avoid making common mistakes. Getting started. So before filling up the application form itself, ISB requires you to register on their application portal. So you need to create an account in their application portal. In case you are an existing user, which means you have filled up an application form at ISB in any other program also, you will be categorized as existing user, for which you will have to log in with your previous login credentials. But if you are filling up in an ISB application for the first time, you are a first-time user and you will have to create your profile by clicking here. Now for your profile, this is the basic set of information which is asked. First is your personal email ID. Now this is very important because this email ID will be used for all the future communications by ISB. So make sure that you note down whichever email ID you are using for this application. Followed by your first name, middle name, last name, primary country of citizenship, current city, year of award of your undergrad degree, total work experience, your designation, current organization, your industry, current country code, and your mobile number. So this is your application form, followed by which program category are you interested in. So for this, you will have to tick your postgraduate programs, and within the postgraduate programs, you will have to select PGP in Management for Young Leaders full-time. With this, your registration on application portal is complete. You will be receiving an email on your registered email ID by ISB within next 5 minutes, where you can use the link in that email to set or reset your password. In case you do not receive an email, you can always email them at applicationhelp@isb.edu and you will receive the revert within next 24 hours. Now moving ahead with your actual application. In your application throughout, you will always see these 4 tabs at every page. Home tab basically shows you the status of your application or various sections of your application at any point of time. Got Queries works as a very important tab for you. While filling the application, in case you are stuck somewhere or you are facing any technical issue, you can always post your query on this tab and they will revert you within next 1 working day. Messages is where all the communication to and fro from ISB will be saved. And Payments is the tab which will be used when you go to the last step of your application, which is payments. Now, before you have started with your application, this is what your application dashboard looks like. If you have not applied for any other programs earlier at ISB, your number of applications will come down to 0. So when you start with a new application, when you click on new application, you will get to select which program, where you will select PGP YL and the cohort 2729. Clicking on next takes up to this page where we are given a prompt that yes, your application has started. If you are starting with a new application or if you are editing your already started application, you can click on start or edit application. Now, before going in the sections of your application, let's be sure that we are ready with this comprehensive list of documents with us. First is the profile photo, passport number or Aadhaar number, mark sheets which can be from 12th, graduation, post-graduation, professional courses or doctorate courses, certificates of your undergraduate, postgraduate, diploma and other programs that you have pursued. In case your primary medium of education has not been English, you will need to also submit your IELTS or your TOEFL scorecard, certificate or supporting documents for notable achievements. So whichever achievements you plan to showcase in your ISB application form, you need to have their proofs as either certificates or any other document given to you. GMAT or GRE test scorecard, which should ideally contain your appointment or your registration number, test date, and your center details. GMAT or GRE test center slip, CAT registration detail. So, in case you are planning to apply through any of these exams, you need to have the documents related to those exams with you. Proof of income, so for employed, any of the last 3 months pay slips, or you can submit offer letter or bank statement. For self-employed people, the proof of income can come through business registration certificate, self-declaration, income proof of last 12 months, bank statement of company, or P&L statement. So all these can work as your income proof. So moving ahead, the first thing that ISB gives you is a set of instructions, which if you read very carefully, I'm sure that you will have a smoother process filling up the application form. So kindly make sure that you read that part of instructions or that page of instructions very much in detail. After you have read those, we will start with our first section, which is personal information. Now, in personal information, as you see, the name will be automatically generated from the registration that you have already done. So that cannot be changed. But what you'll have to add extra is your profile photo. So you'll have to upload a photo which should not be more than 2 MB in size, followed by your birth date, your gender, contact details, which includes your mobile number and your alternate mobile number, which is optional, followed by your permanent address, which includes your country, state, city, and postal code. You can select your current address to be same as permanent address or different depending on your situation. Then it comes to proof of identity, where we'll have to either enter a passport number or an Aadhaar card number as a proof of identity. In case you select Aadhaar card, make sure you click on this link and download the masked Aadhaar. If you are selecting passport, you have to submit your issuing country and your date of expiry of your passport. Once you are done with that, please upload the files, either the passport or the Aadhaar, whichever you have selected as your proof of identity. After you have done this, please click on submit and you move on to your preferred interview location. So ISB allows you to select the preferred interview location from this drop-down list of cities. You can select your location and also provide them with a supplemental information. In case you have any sort of disability, please make sure that you inform them using this. So with this, we finish with our first section, which is personal information. Now, before going ahead, I would strongly want to tell you that whenever you are filling up an ISB form, it's a lengthy procedure. So it is not at all necessary that it can be done in one go itself. So please make sure that you save whatever portions of form you are filling in every sitting that you are having, so that whenever you resume back to form filling, you can start from where you had left it. Now, moving ahead with the education details. So before starting with that, again, they have given some good list of instructions to be kept in mind. Key things while filling the application, filling up the details, instructions for reapplicants. So candidates who are reappearing or reapplying for the same program are considered as reapplicants, and they can go through this set of instructions. Special instructions for chartered accountants and special instructions for medical education background. So in case you fall in any of these categories, make sure that you go through the instructions before starting up the filling form. In the education details, it's very important that you start by filling up the latest education detail first. So before you have started filling up the education detail itself, the form is going to look somewhere like this, where you have not entered any degree yet. When you click on add, you will be allowed to enter the first degree, where you need to give instructions or information on degree level, what type of degree, what was the mode of study, field of study, major or specialization, what was the duration of the degree pursued, so from to date, your CGPA or percentage on the scale of whatever was awarded to you or whatever is there in your mark sheet, Class rank is something which is optional. So if you have achieved a significant class rank, you might want to give in the details here. The country from where you pursued, the state, city, and the name of the institutions from where you pursued. At the end, as documents, you will have to upload the mark sheet of your degree. And in case you have pass or provisional certificate, you can upload that too. So giving this information will help you to enter details of your first education form. So when you have entered the details for various education levels, this is how they will be shown in rows. So when I entered for undergraduate, when I entered for 12th, the multiple rows will be created likewise. You can of course keep on adding more information or more degrees by clicking on add over here. At the end, you will be asked whether your primary medium of instruction was English or not. If your medium of instruction was not English, going later in the form, you will be needed to submit your IELTS or your TOEFL scorecard. Once you have filled up all your education details, next we go on to is awards and recognition. So in awards and recognition, first of all, what qualifies as an award? So what can you include is medals. If you have won medals in any fields, either academic, professional, extracurricular, all these things can be included. Your professional awards, your awards in any other fields. So all these can be included in the award section. What qualifies as notable achievements? So, any of these awards, if won at a national or an international level, or your military honors, or your granted patents, all these are qualified as notable achievements. So, when you click on Add Award, you will be asked about title of award, year of award, area in which you got the award, your level of participation. So in this, if you select your level of participation to be national or international, automatically notable achievement will open up. But if your level of participation was somewhere state or institute level, this part of the form will not open up. And at last, describing the basis of selection for the award. Why were you selected and how were you selected for the award? So with this, you will also need to upload the supporting document which you might have received when you got the award, either in the form of a certificate or in the form of any email, anything that you have received which proves that you have won this award. Once done, you can submit that, and again, the information of that award will be shown in the row in the award section. Next comes activities. So after filling up the awards, you get section to fill up the activities. Now, what can be a part of activity? So any of your contest participation, if you have participated in any contest, any event, any competition, you can include that in your activity. Your event organization or your social work can also be a part of activity. Again, in notable achievements, if any of these things have been at national or an international level, they categorize as notable achievements. Also, any military honors or any granted patents are categorized as notable achievements. As soon as you click on Add Activity, you will be needed to enter activity name, your role in the activity duration from and to date, area or the in what type of activity was it, what was the area of activity, level of participation. So again, if the level of participation here is either national or international, automatically notable achievement will open up, where if you want to put it as a notable achievement, you can just tick on the checkbox and that will be done. And description about what the activity was about. After that, you will have to upload a supporting document which gives a proof about that activity that you have done. That can be any certificate or any other email that you have received. With submitting this, again, you can see a row in the activity here which gives the information on that particular one. You can keep on adding more activities by clicking on Add Activity button. So that was all about awards, recognition, and activities. Now moving on to professional experience. So before again starting to fill in the details for professional experience, there are some instructions to be read carefully. Key things to be kept in mind while filling the details. Instructions related to income related information. Special instructions for chartered accountants and special instructions for medical education background. So anyone who categorizes for this, please make sure that you read the instructions given on their website very, very carefully before you start. What can be included in one work experience? Your full-time jobs, your internships, on-campus jobs, employment as a student, and any traineeship which has been done as a part of the education. All these things can be included as a part of your work experience. So starting with, how do I add work experience details? So as soon as you click on add over here, you will be getting this form to fill up. Again, in work experience, it is necessary that you fill it in the order of latest first. So you will be asked whether this is your current employment, duration of work experience from to date, the company name, the company website, division or the branch or the unit that you are a part of, company description, what is the company about, the industry in which the company is, and the subcategory of industry. Once you have done that, you will be asked on what type of employment are you in. Is it a full-time, part-time employment? Is it an internship? Is it a freelancing? So all these categories you can enter in this section. Moving ahead, you will be asked on your annual compensation in this particular role, where your currency in INR need to be entered. In case your CTC is not in INR, please convert one and enter. About your role or your organization, what is the function that you are into, and what is your designation. After that, you will have to give a brief description on your job KRAs, your job description, your key responsibilities. So, what all can be included in the key responsibilities will be coming here, where filling at least one record with maximum 255 characters is compulsory. But of course, if you have more to tell, please fill in the multiple records as well. Followed by job location, which country and which city are you employed in. So with this, when you click on save, your one job experience is saved. Then you can click on add button again to enter the details on the next job experience. Then they ask you if you have a gap of 3 months or more before your education and employment, or between two employments. You can give in the information however it fits your profile. And at the end, once you have entered all your job experience, this will be self-calculated and displayed depending on the information that you have given. Your total full-time work experience and your total part-time work experience will be automatically calculated. Now moving on to the next section, which is other courses. So what can be included in this section? So in case you are a candidate who have done multiple undergraduate courses or multiple postgraduate courses or any other diplomas which you could not enter in the education section, you can make sure that you enter them here. So all your certificate programs or any other degrees from multiple institutes can be entered over here. So when you click on add, you will be asked on the certificate name, the completion status, mode of study, the duration of the program from and to, your CGPA or your percentage on the relevant scale, name of the institute, and board or the organization you pursued from. At the end, you will be required to upload the certificate of your program. So once you do that, your course will be updated over here, and then you can click on add to add more courses. Next is essays. I think essays is one of the most important and most critical section in ISB form. So in PGP YL, the candidate is required to draft 3 mandatory essays. For the first essay, it is all about describing a specific personal situation in which you assumed a leadership role without formal authority. How did you motivate and influence others during this experience? What challenges did you encounter? And what insights did you gain about your leadership abilities as a result of this experience. So this essay is looking out at your leadership qualities, which are not always forced upon, but which comes from within, and your learnings out of it. So you can describe any such event or occurrence in your life as a part of this essay. The maximum word limit is 400 and the minimum word limit would be 100. Second essay is about your unique experiences and perspectives that you will bring to the class, and how do you contribute to the diversity of thought and ideas within the program. So this essay can take you deep into your profile and bring out the points which are unique in your profile and what can add to the diversity of the class and to the learnings of the class. For this essay also, maximum word limit is 400 and minimum word limit is 100. Now, next is the third essay where you are supposed to talk about the impact that you aim to create after completing PGP YL program. Please share your medium to long-term career plans, including any specific challenges you anticipate facing along your way. So this is about your future career plans, let's say 5-year, 10-year plan down the line. And you need to give a very clear idea about what you have thought for your future in mind over here. As I have said, all these essays are will require a lot of brainstorming to be drafted in the right way, which means that it is not necessary that you might draft the entire essay in one go itself. So make sure that whenever you are starting to draft the essay, save each and every draft. So when you resume back in the form filling, you can start from where you have left it. Right? So please make sure you save the essay every time you draft it. Again, the minimum word limit for each of these essays would be 100. And for maximum word limit for the first two essays is 400. And for the third essay, the maximum word limit is 250. ISB specifically looks out for genuinity in essay. So please make sure that the essay comes out of your own stories and your own profiles. And that is what will be given the maximum importance when they are evaluated by the committee. Next section is recommendations. So ISB allows one recommendation to be given as a part of your application form. So it is very important that what kind of recommendation you choose and who should be recommending you. So ISB gives you an option to select either of these two recommendations. Either you can have an academic recommendation, which can come from anyone who knows you very well academically, and the next is the professional recommendation. So whoever in your network really knows you well beyond the books, beyond the office, and knows you as a person, as your growth, as your inner strengths, make sure that that person recommends you in either of these categories. Who should you choose? So this is not the only list, but an ideal list. So your direct and your current supervisors, clients for those who are into family business or entrepreneurship, and professor who knows you really, really well beyond the books. All about the process. So how is this recommendation process going to take place? So once you've given the details of the recommender along with the email ID of the person, ISB will be sending an official email to the recommender along with the link which the recommender will have to fill in to complete the application. That link will be asking the recommender to review the strengths and the potential growth areas across various parameters about the candidate. So now how do you apply or how do you submit the information for the recommender? So in this recommendation one, generally you will have to first submit whether the recommender is associated with the candidate or professionally. The prefix, the first name, last name of the person you are suggesting, organization where the recommender works, the position and the title, country, city, entering in country code and mobile number is not compulsory. Email ID, very important. Make sure that you give out a professional email ID of the recommender and the correct one, because this email ID will be used by ISB to connect in future with the recommender. So make sure that you give out a professional email ID of the recommender and the correct one, because this email ID will be used for all future communications by ISB with the recommender. What is the relationship of the recommender with the applicant? Status of recommendation, and if you wish to give out any personal message to the recommender along with the email that ISB is sending, you have an option of writing down the message here. So as soon as you click on send email to the recommender, as soon as you tick on that checkbox, ISB will be almost immediately sending an email to the recommender asking for his or her recommendation for the applicant. Next section that we are going to look into is test scores. For PGP YL program, ISB accepts CAT, GMAT, GMAT Focus and GRE test scores. For GMAT Focus and GRE, the tests need to be taken within last 5 years of application because those will only be considered as valid scores, and the tests need to be taken at centers. Home-based tests or online tests will not be considered valid. For CAT, only the latest CAT score will be considered valid. So, for example, if I am applying for a 27-29 cohort, only CAT 2026 scores will be accepted. So, when you select on these various exam scores or your preferred exam scores to be taken, this is how the page opens like. So, if you select GRE, you will be asked to enter the test date, email ID, registration number, and if you have taken GRE multiple times, you will be asked to enter the sectional scores and the percentiles along with the total score, and you will need to inform them that when did you request ETS or Pearson VUE to report your official score to ISB. With this, you will have to upload the GRE test score card, and that completes your information on GRE test to be taken. If you have selected GMAT as your test, again similar information on test date, email ID, GMAT appointment number, the sectional scores and the percentiles on 4 section and the total score and percentile if you have taken GMAT multiple times, and when did you request Pearson VUE to report your official score to ISB, at the end followed by submitting the GMAT scorecard. You can select multiple tests as well to submit in an application. So you can select GRE and GMAT both, and whatever suits best, they might give you an admission on the basis of that. For GMAT Focus also, the form remains almost the same as GMAT. It's all same. The only difference is in the pattern, the sections have reduced from 4 to 3. Otherwise, it is all same. For CAT, you will have to give in your name as per the CAT registration letter, as well as your CAT user ID or application number, and upload your CAT test registration letter. It is possible that you might not have your CAT scorecard during your application form filling. So even submitting a registration letter will work. And when the scorecard is released, scorecard will be sent to ISB by CAT automatically. So once you click on submit, your details for all your test scores and the test has been submitted. Now we go to the next section, which is language proficiency. So this section is only for the candidates who have not had their primary medium of instruction as English. So if that was the case, the candidate will have to submit either an IELTS or an TOEFL score to complete the application. Next is upload documents. So this section would want you to upload some additional documents apart from what you have already done so in the application form up till now, which includes your income proof. So as we have discussed, income proofs for self-employed or for employed, you will have to upload your file here to show your income proof. Apart from that, if you wish to submit any additional document or your college identity card, you can do so, but it is not mandatory. Once you have submitted the documents, here comes the time for declaration, where you will be asked to accept or declare certain things in different sections. So first is the declaration on various these questions, like have you been ever found to be in violation of academic integrity? Have you ever been the subject of disciplinary action at your place of employment? Have you ever been convicted in a criminal case? And have you ever been named as a respondent in an FIR or a charge sheet in a criminal matter? Make sure that you tick the right answers over here. And then you will have to, of course, for a statement of application integrity, tick on this checkbox to accept their terms and conditions. Moving ahead, you will accept and acknowledge all these policy conditions as well, where there are offers of admission ISB policy, consent regarding sensitive personal data, consent for utilizing details for placement purposes. So make sure you tick on all these check boxes to complete your application. So once you have done that, your application is completed. You will have a fine print which shows terms and conditions for the admission to PGP in management for young leaders at ISB. Once this is done, you will be redirected to the payment page, and that's what completes your application. I hope seeing this video will really help you to fill up the form in the most efficient and the correct way, and you will avoid all those basic mistakes that you would make otherwise. Thank you so much. Hope this video really helps you out. Thank you.